Good evening or good afternoon, and happy holidays to everybody out there in Streamland. You're watching the Stream of Blood as part of the Vamily Holiday Special Spectacular. Let's upgrade it from special to spectacular, huh? My name is Jared Logan. I am the storyteller for this game of Vampires of Pittsburgh. That's our ongoing weekly Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition stream. Man, we have so much to show you tonight. It's going to get real bloody. I'm real excited. What we've done tonight is create a crossover between our normal cast, who are fantastic, and some new characters we've added. The Inquisitors of Pittsburgh. That's right. The Second Inquisition is in our setting city, Pittsburgh, and we have had some hardcore, long-term vampire players and one of my best pals come in and play those Inquisitors to entertain you. So tonight, the vampires and the Inquisitors are going to meet. And I mean, I'm a firm believer. I tell my players in chaos and letting the dice fall where they may. And good Lord, I love my vamps, but someone's going to get hurt. I just have a feeling that that's going to happen. More important than all of that, though, is why we are here. I just want to remind anybody who's watching that this Vamily Holiday Spectacular is part of an effort to give COVID-19 relief to people out there who need it. So if you are watching on twitch.tv.worldofartdarkness, you should be able to donate there in the show. But if you're watching somewhere else, maybe you're watching this on YouTube or something later, please donate to directrelief.org. It's so important right now. Things are rough out there. And it's really nice to be able to do something for the holiday that kind of helps people out. That said, let me give you a recap and introduce you to our players. I am so excited to tell you about our show and to introduce you to our players. So the setting tonight and every night is the year 2020. Yes, we've created an even worse 2020 than the one that actually exists out there outside your door. You'd think it would be impossible, but we figured out how to do it. And it turns out that when you make 2020 even worse than it has been, it comes back around and becomes good again. So the setting is 2020. The city is Pittsburgh, PA, where due to recent events in our series, this is the site of a full-scale invasion by the Second Inquisition. They're using the pandemic as a cover story to destroy every vampire in the city of Pittsburgh in one huge push. Our cast consists of Abu Salim as Lucius Ali. He's a Ventru who was embraced before the fall of London. He's never been taught about his clan or the traditions. He's in Pittsburgh searching for his sire who fled to America when the fall of London occurred. Let's bring in Abu Salim, everybody.
Oh,
Abu, what's up, man?
Hi. How you doing, man? You caught me playing with my Nintendo Switch.
Oh, yeah? What are you playing?
Playing Dead Cells at the moment. Yeah, it's a really cool game. Yeah, and I actually, you know what? I just had some pineapple on pizza as well just a second ago. I mean, don't people love pineapple on pizza? I mean, isn't it so great?
I don't know how to interpret the energy you're giving me right now, Abu, but I like it.
Thank you, man. I'm just really nervous because this is going to be quite an incredible session today.
It's going to be a huge monster of a session, and it's also going to be really dangerous for Lucius. And he's got a very interesting scene right up top, but I've got to keep going through our cast. We're going to get right into Lucius's very questionable actions in just a moment. Ashley Birch is Jen Brown, a thin blood. Jen Brown is the former tech CEO who invented an app called Grouper. She took over the city's Anarch movement and tried to lead them to victory over the Camarilla. She failed. She's waking from a year of torpor after suffering massive wounds at a battle at the University of Pittsburgh. Let's bring in Ashley. Howdy.
I'm a real fan of Abu coming out swinging, just pineapple and pizza. No fuck.
Listen, man, coming in controversial. You know what I mean?
Playing Dead Cells and eating pineapple. You know
what you do. You know what I mean?
That's what he's all about.
Okay.
What kind of pizza did you just have, Ashley?
Actually, on Friday, I had just cheese pizza. Not controversial at all. Just middle of the road.
Well, I hope you're both hungry for blood, because I'm going to bring in our third character. Ross Bryant is Curtis Krieger. He's a gangrel. He's Jen's coterie mate, a veteran of Afghanistan, and a former drug addict. Curtis is sort of an attack dog who seems to trade one master for another, always looking for a path to freedom. Ross Bryant, come on in. Oh, hello.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, you caught me reading great black magic stories.
It's just funny, when we play this game, I always catch you or Abu in the middle of doing something, even though it happens right now.
I know. The scheduling email goes out, and then it flies right out of my head, and I begin...
and then somehow your webcam just comes on while you're sitting in front of your computer.
Yeah, right when I'm in the middle of a story by the name of They Bite.
Good. Do lots of research, because things are going to bite tonight. These three characters, Jed Brown, Lucius Ellie, and Curtis Krieger, were searching an industrial waste dumping ground last session, looking for their mortal friends. One of whom is Curtis's touchstone, his old army buddy Craig, and a mortal ally of theirs named Dylan, who had gone missing. They went missing when they were investigating the camp of the Inquisitors. We've only seen these Inquisitors in action once, but they were really fucked up people who were truly scary. And I'm afraid for our vamps tonight. Might have players destroy some players. Humphrey Carr is Gilles Dumanenoir. I think I said that right. An old school vampire hunter who has ties to the Society of Leopold. He was present at the fall of London. Let's bring in Humphrey Carr.
Hello. Jared, hi. You've caught me reading something else on the screen of my computer. It's not as good of an intro. I didn't have a good prop to hand.
I thought you were going to say, you've caught me playing Vampire Online.
Did I say a lot of important business documents, because I'm an important businessman?
Did I say Gilles Dumanenoir correctly?
I think it's just Gilles Dumanoir. The second N is silent. It's not. It is a vestigial syllable. Huh?
Yes. Yes, a vestigial syllable. Gilles Dumanoir, you all should know out there in viewerland, is sort of an evil Poirot. Let's bring in our next.
Bizarro Poirot.
Bizarro Poirot. Nora Ibrahim is Sister Mary Ursula, a true believer in the power of Christ, a shotgun nun, the heavy of the group with a strong Margot Martindale vibe. Let's bring in Nora.
We're so fucked.
Yeah, who is that against? Oh
my god! I can't hear you, Nora.
Yeah, muted, but the silence is even more.
I was muted. That was my only. How's it going?
Really good. Wow. My players are sweating, and like every time an Inquisitor appears now, they're cutting off the head of a flower. What did that
mean? Just pruning.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I will say, I'm not a fan of the pineapple on pizza. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. Red vines are trash, and Twizzlers are better.
Already a lot of just sort of interpersonal hatred.
Strong opinions.
Yeah.
I've got beef with Ashley.
Oh yeah, it goes way back.
She's
we all know,
half the volume of me.
You hate it.
You can fit from two Ashleys in there.
You can't tell from here, but Humphrey Carr is 7'4", and Ashley Birch is 2 foot 3 inches and fits in the pinhole. Okay. Finally, Josephine McAdam is Kit Willoughby, the Inquisitor's bloodhound, a thin blood who can mingle with vampires, think like vampires, and they put an explosive collar on her to keep her in line. Let's bring in Kit Willoughby, aka Josephine McAdam. Hello.
Hi. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't you worry.
Oh God.
This is not cool, man.
I know I invited you to a nice game, Abu. I said we were going to tell your character's story, and then I think like the 5th time we play, I'm like, and now here are the hunters to kill you. The good news is no matter who wins or survives, I still have a series. I mean, one side will just go on and do the rest of it. I'm joking, of course. We love all of our characters here, and we are really anxious to see what happens tonight. So, are we ready to launch into the story and get rolling, guys?
Oh yeah.
Ready.
Yeah.
Then give me the vampires of Pittsburgh and put the Inquisitors in the waiting room, and I will kind of tell a little bit more about where our series stands. So, our coterie has discovered that an industrial waste site is being used by the Inquisition to bury the bodies of vamps that they've destroyed or slain. Another group of vampires staged an ambush for the Inquisition here. These vampires, led by Rhodes, who is a clanless redneck bloodsucker, were the ones who kidnapped your friends, your mortal friends, Dylan and Craig. You were afraid the Inquisition got them. It turns out it was other vampires who got them. Rhodes and his crew claim to be the new Anarch movement. They've taken the reins of leadership from Jen Brown, and they kidnapped Dylan and Craig, and they're going to give them the gift, create more Anarchs. I mean, what could be better, right? There was a fight between this new Anarch group and our coterie, these 3 players here. Our coterie won. You guys got incredible rolls. You landed on them before they knew what was going on. Well, you won, and Lucius needs to feed. So what we don't know, what we didn't know until this point, what we weren't sure of until this point, is that Lucius feeds on vampires. Lucius, your predator is Bloodleech, and as Curtis and Jen Brown ran from the scene of the fight, because you all saw headlights coming in through the main gate of this industrial waste site, and you all decided to kind of like get into the shadows, get unseen. Jen Brown and Curtis, you got one success on your attempt to flee. You're taking with you a prisoner. You did capture one of these new Anarch vampires, these redneck vampires named Deb, who can maybe tell you where your friends are. You also, at some point, and maybe you have it back where you were kind of like, watching the waste site, found the body of a vampire buried in like a barrel that looked like she might be revivable. So they're not doing a great job of doing away with these vampires. Maybe the people that are in charge of some of these executions don't know exactly how to carry them out properly, but you have the burnt body of a vampire you knew named Laura as well. So you have Deb as a prisoner. She's an Anarch vamp, and you've got this body, and you're sort of dragging them out of the waste site toward like where the hole in the chain link fences that you got in through in the first place. And you're trying to get out of the waste site before whoever is driving in can see you. Well, Curtis and Jenor, Abu, Lucius stayed behind because he has the leader of those Anarch vamps in his clutches. He's ripped his jaw off. Blood is pouring out of the guy's mouth. And Lucius is about to feed. Lucius, I need to ask you a really important question right now. Are you just trying to ease your hunger, or are you ingesting this vampire's soul?
I'm going to ingest their soul.
That's right. If you're just tuning into our show for the first time, the first thing we're going to do is diablerie. Okay. I need you to make a strength plus diablerie, being the act of absorbing a vampire soul by feeding on him until you've sucked the soul juices out of him. Give me a strength plus resolve roll, Lucius.
Okay.
And that's going to be a difficulty of 3 for you here.
Okay, so that's 2 on strength, resolve, or 6.
You need 3 successes.
I got a messy critical.
Ooh.
That's exciting.
That is quite wild. Oh my god! I have no idea how that happened, but okay.
But the messy critical, I would like you to just describe for us one more time. I think you did at the end of the last session, but tell me how you are feeding on this guy. And I want you to know that you are you feel this ecstasy as not just like the physical sustenance of the blood goes in, but you also feel like all of his energy is becoming yours. His strength, his thoughts, his every good and bad thing that ever happened to him is like giving you this tremendous brain bursting high all at once. Tell me how Lucius is reacting and what he's doing.
Well, I've literally got my hand behind his head, and I'm just pulled his head backwards, having that hinge of the jaw, and my mouth is right in there, almost as if my head is trying to get inside of his neck. And I'm taking in the blood, and I can feel it, and I can feel it just go through every fiber of my being. It's the first time I've ever felt alive again, and I'm enjoying it.
And maybe we've turned around now to just see Lucius taking down it's like a Pez dispenser.
Absolutely. If you would like to, your characters want to see this, I think absolutely, no matter how far you've run into the site. So the site has a lot of these mounds where they were burying industrial waste, but I think you definitely could you only got one success away, so you can definitely turn back and see this happening. Lucius, you lose a point of humanity.
Oh boy.
And now what you're going to do is you're going to attempt to absorb his soul without Rhodes's soul sort of polluting you or taking you over.
Right.
Very interesting.
I have a dice pull for Rhodes.
Okay.
You're going to roll your humanity +2. So your humanity, Lucius, I have as a this is not a bad roll for you. You hadn't done a lot of diablerie, but maybe you've just been kind of topping off your hunger before now.
Yeah.
But this is the first time you've decided to just devour somebody. So you're getting a 7 dice pull, it looks like, versus Rhodes' pull to kind of take you over. And we're going to see who gets more successes. And if Rhodes' soul wins, you're going to be playing your character a lot differently this session.
What difficulty is it?
To win, but I also would love to see Abu be a redneck.
I know.
I'm also very torn.
What difficulty is it?
This is kind of a conflict between two players, so you want to get more successes than he did, and I know how many he has. So you roll your 7 dice and tell me how many you got.
Oh, we're so fucked if Rhodes takes over.
Okay, I've got 4.
Okay, you handily defeated his.
Oh God, I was thinking like, oh wow, I'm going to be playing a completely different character.
You are not possessed by the soul of a redneck militiaman.
The only black guy in the game, you know what I mean?
So, only more controversial thing I could think of is like pineapple pizza.
He got 1 success, which negates one of yours. So you ended up with 3 successes, and that gives you each success gives you 5 experience to put toward bringing up your blood potency. So I'm going to make a note on your sheet. Basically, Lucius is already at blood potency 2. But he is now, he's got 15 XP that'll just go toward getting him to blood potency 3. The more blood potency you get when you spend, when you get a little more hungry to be stronger, you get more strength dots. You get more dexterity dots. You generally become more of a unredeemable monster who hungers for power and complete control of its environment as a apex predator.
Great.
So what I want to know now is, so you did that very well, Lucius. So you have some of his knowledge, you have some of his strength. This is taking you a while, though. It says diablerie takes a full scene. So I'm not going to let you act for a little bit. I'm going to ask Curtis and Jen Brown, what do you do when you see him doing this?
How far did we get?
You're not far. I'd say you got maybe 10 yards before he started this process.
Okay.
Okay. And how far away is the fence we came through?
You need to keep running, and I'd say it's like half a football field away. Like so you need 40 more yards get you there.
And we've been told that another unknown truck is entering this facility.
Right now, you can see the headlights shining through the gates. A vehicle of some sort is heading into this lot.
And does it seem like Lucius is indisposed? Is he like...
Oh, he's indisposed. I mean, like, basically, at this point, since you're only 10 yards away, like, he's still, like, drinking. But we went ahead and resolved the roll to see what's happening, because it'll be important, like, if you start to intervene or something, if Rhodes took him over, we want to know that. But, yeah, he's just sort of, like, he's, like, you know, still drinking, and then he's, like, sort of, like, fighting inside of his mind with this other soul.
Okay, we're dragging 2 bodies with us also. Or did we already secrete Lara up in the...
I think that you secreted Lara's body, right? Okay. She's the vampire that's like in torpor and could be revived. But Deb is sort of like, actually, thank you for pointing that out. Deb's with you, and she is a vampire, and she is somehow connected to Rhodes, who just got diablerized. And we're going to see how she does on a frenzy roll.
Oh, yeah.
Right, forgot about that part.
Fury Frenzy. I think she needs to see her best friend and coterie mate diablerized. I think she needs. Friends. Yeah, they're good buddies. You didn't know that because you just met her, but she's like, no! Her fangs glisten in the moonlight as you see the beast take hold of her. Maybe. Yep, definitely. She didn't get enough successes, and so now she's fighting against you. And I'm going to assume, Curtis, you're the one who had her, since you had the grappling specialty and everything.
That's right.
So now I just want one action from each of you. Tell me what you're doing as this scene, you know, at the end of this scene here. I want to know what you do. I'm going to start actually with Jen Brown. What do you do?
Let's see. So 40 yards away from the hole. I'm guessing that truck is going to close the distance before we can get there.
You know, it depends. If you want to just haul ass right now, you could get hidden if you gave me 3 successes.
That's not going to happen, knowing Jen. I'm going to try to snap Lucius out of it. I don't know if that makes sense given the mechanics of the game, but I want to get him to get out of the open.
It makes sense. Everything that we've said happened with Lucius has happened, and it does take a while to commit a full diablerie, but I think that we can go ahead and let you give this a shot, and it'll affect what happens next, Jen Brown. So what dice pool do you want to use?
Intelligence plus technology, but that's not going to work, is it?
You know what? I'll allow it. No. I think,
maybe charisma plus leadership?
I think so. That's fine.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Absolutely makes sense. And Curtis Krieger, what do you want to do? I'm going to have you guys roll in a second.
I want to subdue. Deb. Namely, I want to push her to the ground, get my like back of the head pinned to the ground, and then cover Jen as she goes to snap out Lucius out of his reverie.
Okay, so you want to get her onto the ground and then cover Jen with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's kind of 2 actions.
Right.
So let's but you know, the second one is just kind of aiming. So I'm gonna let it happen. If you can subdue Deb, right? So if you can subdue Deb, you can cover Jen. And Deb, I mean, like if our Inquisitor we mentioned earlier, Sister Mary Ursula has a Margot Martindale vibe. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. She has an Ann Dowd vibe. Deb has a Margot Martindale vibe. She's like a big vampire Margot Martindale and like a puffy vest, you know, with like hunting clothes on. And she just goes and she boosts her strength with her blood. And she is going to try a straight up strength plus brawl roll versus your strength plus brawl, Ross, versus Curtis's. Remember, you have that grappling specialty, so go ahead and give yourself 1 extra die. Okay.
All right.
How'd you do, buddy?
I did. Let's see. 2 successes.
Well, that's too bad because she got a messy critical.
Oh,
that's a damn shame, isn't it?
I can't believe we've had 2 messy criticals in the first half hour. Deb like just shakes you off in one move. You kind of go into the air a little bit. I'm going to rule that you go prone, Curtis.
Oh,
and
God.
Deb starts charging at Lucius and Jen Brown, who has moved over to Lucius. She still is, you guys tied her up, so she still has her hands tied behind her back, but her fangs are bared and she is running forward screaming. And we're going to cut to Sheenley Park and the Inquisitors.
Oh,
Sheenley Park and the Inquisitors. I'm going to bring them up. I hope that I hope this all works out. Oh, I'm in a glass box of emotion. Okay. So wow. I mean, there they are. Oh, here they are. Okay, great. Hello, welcome, Inquisitors. And you are in Sheenley Park. You are in your.
Get it. It's on your.
You are in the makeshift camp that the Inquisition has set up. This camp was created to sort of get all the itinerant population of Pittsburgh together in one big park. It's kind of like they're keeping all the homeless people there. They're trying to eliminate a food source for the kindred here in the city. They also have this huge sort of hangar, like temporary, like big tent that they've erected. And inside, you guys have been all through there. You've seen that they have cells for vampires that they capture and want to interrogate. Kit Willoughby did a great interrogation last time and kept all of her promises. So you guys are back there, and you're talking to Sean Amos, who's sort of the tech guy who like takes the calls and stuff like that. And he turns around to you and he's like, one of our work crews hasn't checked in at the proper time, and the Deltas want you guys to go take a look at it.
Huh? Hello? Then if the Deltas require this, then we are obliged to oblige them. Huh?
Yeah, sure. This guy, he's kind of like heavy set. He's wearing a MAGA hat, and he has a tattoo that's just barely visible in his way too unbuttoned shirt that says "Father, forgive me." And he looks at all of you and he's like, "Okay, yeah. I just sent the coordinates to your phone, Sister Ursula. There's a waste site in Homestead where they're dumping, the leftovers, and we need you guys to just go find out what happened to the work crew. I mean, there's bad reception down there. They probably just forgot to check in."
All right. Well, we'll go get right on that. And for gosh sake, son, button up your shirt and actually maybe pray or something rather than that tattoo. I don't think God's going to hear your tattoo there.
Well, this is an expression of my great personal commitment to the pain that Christ endured on the cross, and I endured it myself. With this, I also have a never mind. All right, so you guys are clear. Just schlep down there and make sure that the work crew is okay.
Is it perhaps? Please, Kit. I encourage you to express yourself at all times. Eh?
Oh, thank you. I was just going to ask, am I cuffed up or restrained in any way at this moment?
Yeah, you. I think that we established last time that they're letting you keep, as long as you have the collar on, they're letting you kind of walk around with your hands free. And Sister Mary Ursula is the one who has the detonator. Sister Mary Ursula, it just takes one action.
I don't really have to say anything. I could just lift my arm up and does all the talking for me.
I understand.
Exactly. I think that anybody that wants to make an intelligence plus occult roll can do so right now.
Maybe.
All right.
Could I possibly grab some blood bags for the road?
Right. No one will acknowledge that Kit is talking. They kind of act like she's not there when she speaks. But as you guys start to get suited up or grab whatever weapons you're going to take, Dr. Hunch, the guy whose badge says he's there from the CDC, but is he, kind of comes over with a cart with blood bags on it. Gilles, how did your roll go?
I rolled a sensational 1 success on 7 dice.
Okay. And how did you do, Sister Mary Ursula?
I got 3 successes.
Sister Mary Ursula, you for once have perhaps Gilles is just distracted by all of the different data coming in here. Sister
I
Mary,
cannot stop looking at the dried egg on the shelf of Monsieur Amos. It is, how do you say, offensive to my sensibilities.
yeah, it's like early, it's like very late / early in the morning. So he was like eating with one hand one of those like McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, and there's a little bit of egg on his shirt.
Truly an abomination.
Sister Mary, you wonder what he means by leftovers, and if it's what you think it means, this is bad. He says that's where they're burying the leftovers, and you wonder, does he mean that they're taking the bodies of vamps and just throwing them in the ground somewhere?
Yeah, and also leftovers from what exactly?
Do you want to add? You can confront him on it, or you can just keep that in mind.
I could just I ponder that to myself. I might be saying it out loud, but it's more to myself, and half out of just curiosity and half out of disgust for these people.
Great. There is a car ready for you, but they're not taking you in style with a Delta team, so it's just kind of like they have a rental car out there. It's a Yaris.
Perfect.
I'm not one to like particularly fancy things anyway. We ready?
Very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna just grab a phlegmatic blood pack for the road, stick a straw in it, maybe I'll put the bag in a cup, stick a straw in the bag, and just sip that on the way out. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, so.
Well, how unfortunate, kids, because you have already failed in your goal of not making us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In fact, Kit, perhaps as you grab your sustenance, you kind of look over to where Dr. Hunch has sort of a makeshift lab set up in this big tent. And they actually are taking people from that camp they have outside and putting them out, putting them unconscious, and then drawing blood from them so that you can have your weapons at the ready. So I don't know how Kit feels about that. Maybe she's like, good, I don't care. But just to let you know, you do kind of spy that's going on.
Oh yeah, I absolutely do not mind that they're doing that to people. What do I feel would be an amount of blood bags I could have on my body that isn't gonna trigger Sister Mary Ursula? I'm just gonna grab a couple because I know got to keep it on the down low around sister here.
The sister gets pretty angry. You might have to finish your one snack and then get into the car first. Finish it first.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sister Mary, I want you to weigh in. I mean, you have true faith. You hate this creature, so let me know how you feel about it.
Knowing that we have, we're on a mission from God here. So, and I know that she has to be part of it in some sort of way. So I grit my teeth and I kind of reach into my pocket and I'm like, bullet, rosary. Oh Lord, God of vengeance, shine forth, rise up, oh God of earth, render recompense to the proud. And I just like saying that over and over in my head. I'm like, oh, and I'm riding shotgun.
Very good. Here's, we're not trying to metagame, but our players know where they're going, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you, as your Toyota Yaris approaches this big looming industrial waste site, and there's a pair of big, kind of corrugated metal gates up front. They appear to be a little bit cracked open right now. There's like a cinder block office structure where they probably do the work orders and stuff. And then the whole place is surrounded by, chain link fence. And it's a large, as I said, it's like almost like 100 yards behind the building. There's all of these big mounds where they bury various chemical wastes and the leftovers of the vampires that they've been killing in Pittsburgh. Beyond that, there's wooded hills, the kind of hilly, very thick vegetation you see in this part of the country, dark brooding trees. And so I would like, now that you kind of know the lay of the land, your car's kind of pulling up to that front gate, I would like you to tell me what your approach will be going in. What is your approach? Because it does look weird. Why is this thing unlocked? Why haven't these guys called in? What is the Inquisitor's approach to this mission? How are they going into this place? Let me know.
Well, I'm inclined to think that everything is a trap. So
a wise position to take, Sister Mary, as to that. I think that we should reconnoiter and surveil the area from a distance. Eh?
I don't know what you said there, but I agree.
Alors, I think that maybe we will send our little bloodhound forward. A tactic that has worked well for us in the past. Huh?
Yeah, and there were no complications last time at all.
I found myself to be largely out of the firing line. Huh? So for me, it worked extremely well.
Well, then, if that is the plan, Kit Willoughby, are you going to sort of sneak in, or are you going to just waltz in? Like, I think, well, the last time you tried to sneak in, you failed, and then very interesting things happened.
I think last time I just knocked on the door and.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what I thought. You just walked in. So, what are you going to do this time?
Yeah, I have minimal information, and really, I'm kind of someone who just goes with the flow, so to speak, with whatever's coming at 1 minute to the next, and I don't like to prepare too much. So
it is best to live moment to moment when you have an explosive collar around your neck. Huh?
That's what I always like to say. Yeah,
how to make plans when you may be decapitated at any moment.
It's true.
That's wise words.
So wait, what? I guess I'll ask Sister Gilles, what are you hoping to get out of this excursion?
Well, I think we look to establish the fate of our missing team, and let's be honest, to find whoever or whatever it was that has caused them to be late in reporting in.
All right. I will pop my collar up around my collar and try to, cover as much, be as inconspicuous as possible. And all right, I'm going to make my way in then.
Very good. And it sounds like you are kind of just walking in, but kind of staying. You're not like running in and going, hey, you're just kind of like walking in carefully.
No, yeah, I'll walk in. If there's a door, I will knock.
The door is a big kind of iron gate into this sort of the dumping ground. And it is kind of unlocked right now. It's kind of hanging open.
Okay. All right. If there's like a pipe nearby, I'll just like ding, ding, ding.
Okay. I want you to make a wits plus awareness roll, Kit Willoughby. Okay. Difficulty only 1.
That's 3 successes.
Blood. There is so much blood here. It's kind of wafting to your nose, through the smell of trash and chemical fumes. A lot of blood has been spilled here, and above that, Willoughby, it's something stronger than human blood. You think that there's been vitae splattered around here.
Interesting. Okay. I suppose we still have our earpieces in.
That's right.
Whatnot. Did y'all bring some weapons? I think we may be dealing with some more, sinful creatures tonight.
That's when you hear the scream of what could only be a kindred in frenzy. On the other side of the gate. And so I'll allow you each to do one thing before you head in or whatever you do. Let me know what you're going to do, and we'll start with Kit Willoughby because she's right there near the gate and everything.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna stroll in to wherever hopefully that's coming from, and as soon as I hear it, Cloak of Shadows.
Very good.
As soon as I'm within sight, Cloak of Shadows. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So that adds dice, I believe, to your stealth ability. and if I'm not mistaken, and you know, I add a little bit of a special effect in the way I GM it, in that it's really a little harder for people to break. It's not just a kind of a bumped up stealth roll. So if you would just go ahead and roll your, I think, let's call it composure plus stealth, because you're not really creeping, you're just kind of walking. And Gilles Dumanoir, what would you like to do?
Yes, I would like to press my hand against the silice, weird subcutaneous device that is implanted into my chest with the symbol of the Society of Leopold and here, use it to channel my faith with dogged determination to activate, for want of a more elegant phrase, my thaumaturgical abilities as a scent of the vampire.
When you do that, suddenly, like, it's like your skin is on fire, and it almost blows your mustache off, Shield. Not only there are so many vampires here, and there's you now realize that there's blood in the air. You don't smell it like Kit did. It's more like you feel like the charge of it.
Oh mon Dieu. This I do not like.
Are you running in? Are you kind of creeping around back? Are you staying out here and waiting for more info? You can do all of those things, but let me know.
I think I am speaking. Bet, little beast, dog, creature.
Oh yeah, you're letting your guinea pig go first. I love it. Okay, so you're in full communication with her, and you can give her leadership roles, manipulation roles, hopefully to help her. But I mean, come on, these guys are awful to each other. And now, Sister Mary Ursula, what is your action?
I load my shotgun, and I'm just checking comms to make sure our earpieces all work.
Very good. And now let us bring in our vamps again as Kit Willoughby walks in and sees the scene. And Kit Willoughby, if she's listening, if she can hear me, I know that she can. Yes, Kit, what you see is that there is a vampire on the ground with another vampire. 20 yards, 30 yards into this site past the gate. And he's got the other vampire's neck ripped open, and he's definitely fed on him, is finishing feeding on him. There is a small female, possibly mortal. She doesn't have, she's pink. She has the blush of life, and she's kind of standing between the guy that's feeding, leeching on the other vampire, and this huge Margot Martindale type vamp who's running at her with like tied hands, like screaming, like ah! You probably don't see farther back on the ground is a man in sort of the worn fatigues of a drifter and traveler. He looks road worn and dusty, and he's laying on his back because this other vamp has just tossed him off. And the final thing I'll say to you, Kit, is I would love a wits plus occult from you right now.
Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. So that's enough for me to tell you that you notice that Lucius has spilled a lot of Rhodes's blood in the way that he fed. Lucius did succeed at his diablerie, but there's all this vampire blood that's kind of seeping into the earth. And just for a second, Kit, you think you see some of it kind of like trickle away from the body, like moving like mercury. You know how mercury balls up and kind of rolls away? And that is when I will now call for an action from everybody. And we can also bring in our Inquisitors who are just on their earpieces, letting their thin blood guinea pig take the hit for everybody. So here we are, 6 players. This is gonna be fun.
Jared, can I ask a question?
Please do.
I made a roll before we went to the Inquisitors, and I was wondering if that did anything. I got 3 successes to help Lucius.
Yeah, well, that's Lucius's Lucius's diablerie, after we negated Rhodes's successes, gave Lucius 3 successes. I think your attempt to get through to him, you've matched him. To the extent the diablerie is sort of occupying his mind, you have matched it with your attempt to get through to him. So Lucius, I'm going to allow you, while like all of this like alchemy is happening inside your veins, you can listen to Jen Brown, you can talk to Jen Brown, and you can take action based on the things she tells you. And so actually, Ashley, can we start with Jen Brown saying what she wants to say to Lucius?
Has Deb already frenzied by this point?
I think that we're gonna retcon back to just a moment before.
Okay.
So it can't be a paragraph, but you can say something to him right before she frenzies.
Lucius, someone's coming. We gotta move.
Okay, great. And now I'm going to ask everybody for an action. And let's start with Lucius, since you were just kind of awoken from your reverie. What do you want to do, Lucius?
I'm gonna get up and just walk towards the place where we ran from. So the idea is like just kind of blindly sort of go back to where
the hole in the back of the fence.
Yeah.
On the other end of the lot. Now, are you worried at all about this huge vampire who is now frenzying and running toward you? I mean, I think it makes sense for Lucius to just get up and like kind of try to escape. Is that what you're doing?
I think that's the case. I think I'm just walking, and I think it'll take me it's almost like it'll take me another second to realize that there is this Hulk running towards me.
I think that's right. I think that makes total sense. I wish I could give you some kind of benefit for playing into the diablerie so much that it's kind of doing you a disservice in terms of whether you get hurt or not. Well, we'll see what I can do, but noted. Jen Brown, since you were the one standing between Deb and Lucius, I think I'd like to know what you're going to do next.
Okay, so she's
I'm going to get everybody's. I'm so sorry, Ash. I'm just going to get everybody's action, and then we're all going to roll for them if we need to. So go ahead, Ashley.
So she's charging at us?
She is. And Lucius has gotten up and is kind of stumbling toward her.
Oh God, I'm such a bad action hero gal. I mean, what I would like to do is to try to like grab him and sort of tackle him out of the way, but I'm so weak.
You could give it a shot. I mean, he doesn't seem really solid on his feet right now.
I'm guessing that would be like a strength plus athletics or a dexterity plus athletics or something, right?
Yeah.
My other option is trying to use compel, but would I even be able to? Do I have one in the chamber?
I think that your character keeps, the thin blood can keep one discipline kind of in the chamber at all times, and yours is usually compelled. Do you want to use it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to use it on Deb as she's frenzying?
Yeah.
So that's going to make it a bit harder because she's frenzying. I'm going to rule that you need, let's see, you've got to beat her successes +2 because she's frenzying. Do you know what I mean? I think that you can do it. I
believe in you, Ashley.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean a lot coming from you right now, Humphrey. I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
My sworn enemy.
Good, because I didn't mean
Give me your charisma plus dominate.
Reverse psych.
Give me your charisma plus dominate roll in just a second. By the way, Deb, if she's not compelled, is going to smash into you and attack you. That is what her action is going to be. Curtis Krieger, what are you going to do?
I think it may have been lost in the hubbub of the end of last session, but all those rednecks that were riding dirty with the new Anarch movement were all toting AR-15s, right?
They were toting all kinds of they were toting all kinds of automatic rifles.
I think it makes sense for former soldier Curtis to when he unseamed one from Wheezin to Geezin, probably slung one over his shoulder as he was dashing away.
I am going to give you that for free, sir. Role-playing characters gonna loot the bodies. So yes.
I think in my prone position, I just roll over supine and just like take a shot with this rifle towards this vampire who's making a beeline towards Jen.
Okay, we're gonna resolve that before anybody else. So when we roll, I want to know what happens with Curtis first. Now I'm gonna go with the other player who's actually in the same zone. Kit, you're kind of you're just on the outer fringes of this fray, on the other side of it. What do you want to do? And sitting back and watching is a fine option, unless you have something else.
Yeah, I'm just gonna report back to my friends in the car. Say, seems like they're in a bit of a pickle. You might want to bring out some firepower here.
How many are there?
I'm counting 4 right now.
And are they all armed?
Yeah, I might as well say yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're not, but yeah. So are you telling them that they're fighting as well, Kit?
Yeah, just there seems to be a tussle has developed.
Can we
tussle?
Can we, since it is a chain link fence, yes, and our attention has been drawn by the shrieking of this appalling creature, is it fair to say that myself and Sister Mary Ursula have been able to divine where the creatures are? Can we see them? Are we able to make out indistinct shapes in the darkness?
You may not see them from where you are, and it's just a thing about like how far in they are and the angle of the street, and then the gate in front of you that isn't like fully like broken all the way wide open. But you do have a fair idea, Gilles, of where they are. And so Gilles and Mary Ursula, well, let's just say, Gilles, what would you like to do after you've received this report from Kit?
I mean, in an ideal world, I would hope that Sister Mary Ursula takes a step forward in anticipation of some action. And as she does, I put an hand on her wrist and say, let them fight.
I mean, they could all just take each other out, and we really can just go home after this.
This would be ideal.
Who knows?
Very good. Let's resolve those rolls. Curtis, I think that your gun is going to give you a +4 in terms of damage, but first you need to roll the shot. So tell me how that goes.
4 successes.
Okay. She's not trying to dodge you or anything. She's pretty close. So I think you basically riddle her with 8 for a vampire superficial damage worth of automatic fire. And so Deb is kind of like, let's see, she doesn't have 8 health levels. So she's like actually at like 2 aggravated and 4 superficial. And she goes down to 1 knee, but she's like still growling, and you can see her like kind of like fall to her knees. And it's kind of scary, right? Like all these bullets go through her, Jen Brown, and then she just kind of falls to her knees, and then she kind of looks up at you, and she's still like just trying to get herself together to get at Lucius. And so now I want to see how Jen Brown's compel roll goes.
3 successes.
Get out of there.
3 successes. Our friend Deb is in no position really to resist it, having taken a bunch of bullets in the back. But she is frenzied. I'm going to let her resist with a little less dice than she normally would. And she gets no successes. And so what are you screaming at her?
I think I'm just going, stop, don't move.
And you see her like... And then Lucius, as we said, stumbles forward. Outside, Kit Willoughby tells them what's going on. The Inquisitors give the reply that you've heard them give. And now I would like everybody who is inside the waste site to make a wits plus awareness roll.
Okay.
Plus.
Wits.
The awareness? Yes. There. Okay, cool.
Oh, Lucius, for you, it's at -2.
Okay, cool. Well, I got 2 successes, so.
I just got a critical success with 6.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Just 1 success.
2.
So I'm going to rule that only Kit Willoughby sees this. Kit Willoughby, one of the mounds where they kind of bury this waste or something, like a little farther back, you can see that like some of the rocks and soil is kind of like crumbling off of it, falling off of it, and a sort of like hand is coming out.
Yeah.
That seems problematic. I will come up behind whoever is not facing me. Perhaps Jen.
Lucius is closest to you.
Or
Oh, you could get Jen if you'd rather.
Yeah, I'll go up to Jen and just right
Go.
behind her say, "Oh, you might want to watch out. Seems there's something over there, dear."
Oh my god!
What a bunch of creep. But yes, in fact, the characters have now met, and Jen Brown, you may automatically notice what she's pointing at. And in fact, Jen Brown, when you look closer, you see that there's also, a part of the ground nearby is kind of like something is starting to kind of rise or like burst forth from it. And the other thing you notice, Jen Brown, is that there is vampire vitae everywhere. I mean, Lucius sprayed it everywhere. And so now these mounds are kind of starting to move, and a barrel is starting to kind of, poke out of one and like kind of roll out under the ground as things inside them start to move and rise. And now I'm going to ask everybody for an action again. And we're going to start with Lucius Ali. And Lucius, I'm gonna give you your reward now, buddy.
Okay, I
think you start to feel, if it's okay with you, I think you start to feel less disoriented, but you're going to be in this sort of like heightened state of strength and power for a while.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that you are going to keep like making like rouse rolls to like to pump your stats when you do physical stuff. Okay. But you're starting to feel the high of it now. You're not just feeling like the disorientation of it.
Cool.
What would you like to do?
I am still in the madness of it all, really.
You're in the middle of the madness.
I'm feeling like these mounds moving like ants, right? In to a degree. And Deb is next to me, right? And she's kind of still. And I think I'm still in this real sort of mad mode, so I'm just gonna go for Deb.
Lucius, she is frozen by Jen's compel. You can launch yourself at her. I normally for a bite attack you make -2 to the roll, but I think that she's kind of frozen there, like by Jen's compel and by the bullets that hit her. And so you go ahead and give me a brawl plus dexterity attack to leap on her and start to feed from her. We don't tell me what you rolled yet. I'm going to come to you in just a second. And Jen Brown, you haven't seen this yet. What are you doing this round?
Can I ask? I know this is kind of meta, but could I ask a question? Which is,
absolutely.
Does Lucius know everything that Rhodes knows now?
He would have to roll to kind of bring that stuff up. He won the battle between their psyches, so it's not like he just has all of his knowledge like at beck and call.
But he might know where our pals are.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. I obviously don't know that yet, but I'm not seeing him leap for her yet, right?
That's a great question, actually. Yes, not yet, but you see that he's kind of like acting strangely and kind of like, I don't know, flexing the way vampires flex when they're in the throes of ecstasy from having fed.
Curtis is on the ground though, isn't he?
Curtis is on the ground, but he's swung around with an. You can see that he
right.
clearly is the one that filled Deb full of bullets.
I think since Lucius is up and I don't see him go for Deb yet, I might just rush to Curtis and try to help him get up.
Great. You can do that, and then Curtis Krieger, what are you going to do this round?
If I see her coming towards me, then I will just cover her dash, and all the while being like, because I don't know this what mental powers this feeding is giving him. It's like, God damn it, that's how the fuck are we gonna find them if you take her out? I'm like, and just as Jen runs toward me.
Okay, great. So you kind of have Lucius in your sights. Is that what you're telling me?
Covering Jen.
Covering Jen. Oh, you're just covering anything that might happen to Jen. That's a good idea.
Have I seen Kit, or did she just kind of like phase into existence behind Jen?
No, well, she came out of the shadows suddenly. And yes, you have seen her. Yes. So
I think I'm probably, if I'm aiming anywhere, it's at the one unknown.
That makes sense. Which brings me to Kit Willoughby. What are you going to do this turn?
Hi there. I guess, is this happening simultaneously? Maybe I'll
tell me what. Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. Tell me what you're gonna do, and then we will let it play out.
Well, then I'll let Sister Mary and Jill know. Weird thing. The ground appears to be moving of its own accord. I see some hands sticking out. Seems like some more sinful goings on over here. Some blood is moving like worms in the ground. It's definitely needs some of your treatment, sister. The other sinners here don't seem to be too perturbed by that fact. Something's happening with one of them. I really can't say, but it is quite a show. Maybe you want to come have a look yourself. Oh, I believe there may be a gun getting pointed at. Yeah.
Great. Gilles and Sister Mary Ursula, you're going to hear this round. Let me know if you're going to take an action. Are you going to do anything?
I turn to Jill and I say, I'm going in because these are the days of vengeance, so that all things which are written shall be fulfilled. As I and then I intend.
Oh my
god. Gilles behind the wheel of a hot little Toyota Yaris.
Yes, so I would like to reach down onto my belt to the radio pack that is attached to the earpiece of mine and switch channels. I would like to switch from channel 1, which is the one that our group is currently on, and switch to channel 5, which is the citywide communications band for Delta Inquisitors of all descriptions. And I would like to contact Major Donner, who was the commander of the Deltas in Philadelphia.
Well, what happens is actually a voice comes over the line. Delta Band, this is Amos.
Amos, this is Gilles Dumanoir. I need you to tell me, what aerial assets do we have in the sky currently in Philadelphia?
I don't know if you have clearance for that. In
my clearance is 117397474 dash Alpha Kilo.
I want you. Hey, Gilles, I think you're doing a fantastic job at what you know how to do. This guy is such a pain in your fucking neck that I want some kind of roll with you to get him to hop into action and get you help. And then, depending on the amount of successes you get, that's the kind of help you can get. 4 successes gets you an aerial asset. And then we go down from there.
How do I roll this, please?
I think that for you, and you can kind of tell me what you'd like to use, what Gilles' style is, but the thing that makes sense to me would be intimidation plus charisma.
Mon Dieu. Okay. Not very good at either of those things.
More of an investigator than a people mover. Let's find out how all of those rolls went. Nobody fired a gun, right? No, we just have someone covering someone. And so, Lucius Ali, how did you do on your attack?
I got 3 successes.
Lucius Ali bites into Deb. Tell me how you're feeding on our friend Deb.
I sniff her before I literally bite and crunch her into her and just take out a bit and then go back in for more.
Oh, here we go again. Jen Brown, no need to roll, rushes over to Curtis Krieger and helps him get into the most advantageous position for him to kind of cover her. Helps him to his feet. And you can also, if you need any more interaction with him, Jen Brown, to kind of make a plan or talk to him, you can do that now.
Okay, and I'm not seeing Lucius do this, or am I?
You are now. This is happening now, yes.
Okay, can I scream, Lucius, we need her?
You absolutely can, and that means I'm going to let you roll right now for something. I think I'd love for you to roll your charisma plus persuasion.
Okay.
And add a die because you said you screamed it, and I think Jen feels very strongly about this.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
That Might be enough. Let's find out in a minute. Curtis Krieger, you now have the new vamp kind of in your sights, or you don't know that it's a vamp, actually, to be honest with you, because I can tell you that our friend Kit has the blush of life. She looks like a normal human being. In fact, you don't even see any sharp canines when you look carefully at her top lip there. So,
but she seems very unperturbed in a very intense situation, and that gives Curtis pause. Shall we?
Would you like to take? I mean, your action was kind of covering her. I'm not going to make you roll for that, but I can say that now she's covered. So she's going to have a really kind of hard time getting out of your sights if you want to keep her there. Okay,
I'm gonna keep her right there, and I want Lucius to disengage so we can get the fuck out of here.
Right. Kit Willoughby, you have you've sent your information on to them. I don't think any role was necessary, and we've seen your interaction. Is there anything you need to add or anything like that? I don't want to just like skip over you.
Oh, sure. What's the status on the movement of the dirt?
Yes. I was about to tell you, but I'll tell you now since you're keeping a close eye on it. Like a burnt body is stumbling out and getting to its feet, and it's like completely burnt all over, and it turns to all of you, and it's like, it's like 25 yards away, and it turns to all of you and it goes, and it starts like kind of stumbling toward you in like a mad, capering, prancing kind of gait. And that is when I'm going to ask for our good friend, Sister Mary Ursula, to give me a dexterity plus athletics roll to see how quickly she gets here.
Oh, boy.
Run and down,
Right,
run.
Dex plus what? I'm sorry?
Dex plus athletics, please, Nora.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, so that gets you inside, but it doesn't like get you into the middle of the fray if you wanted to be, and it doesn't get you in like a perfect vantage point or anything. So you won't get any advantage. You haven't set yourself up for advantage, but you are now in the fight scene. Okay.
And can I see this, whatever it is, on the?
Yeah, I'll rule that you can see the monsters, and in fact, you guys are a little better positioned to see the monsters than Lucius, Jen, or Curtis, because they're kind of all coming out of the mounds behind them, right? Like they're not this fight is happening a little closer to the gate, so that the mounds of the waste are kind of behind them, and that's where these like creatures are like falling out of the muck.
But it's close enough for me to like be aware of it.
Absolutely,
like,
yes.
So I would say that that's what stops me from getting in all the way to the room, and I just stop and holy shit, just like kind of throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen vampires like this before, for sure. I don't think you would have. Gilles, how did it go with your bureaucratic red tape?
I do not know how you say this number in English, but in French we say zéro. Zero success levels. Yeah, not good. Not good. Pas bien. Pas bien.
Hold on, investigator. I'm putting you on hold for a moment. Click.
Unless you want to be spend the rest of your life punching in data for the cats, rats, and bats section. It is like the familiar section. There's people that they just love boring data like this. Motherfucker.
So now all our agents are currently unavailable.
Yeah, exactly. Da, 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 da. Amazing grace. So
you are a valued supplicant. Please.
So here's what I'm going to tell everybody as the storyteller. This round, these things are going to start doing stuff. 3 of them this round are going to start doing stuff. There's the one that was very obviously running at all of you, but I told you they were coming from all quarters, and so this round 3 of them are going to do something. And I think you can guess what they're going to do. They are going to run at people and bite them and hurt them. So I want to know what your actions are going to be, and I'm going to start with Lucius, and I bet I know what his is going to be.
I'm gonna drink this lady dry.
It makes sense. It's more fun than I thought we'd have, and here we go. Don't tell me how you did yet, Lucius, but could you please give me another one of those strength plus resolve rolls?
And would it be with the additional boost of power from before?
Yeah, it seems like it would be. So I want you to also give me one rouse roll.
Okay.
And that's if that might make you hungrier if you fail it. If you succeed, you don't get hungrier. But your strength plus resolve roll will be at +1. So roll strength plus resolve plus 1 extra die.
Yeah, I got 0 successes on that one.
Okay, so you get no, you don't get hungrier. You're eating vampires. Don't worry about the rouse. Just add an extra die to your strength plus resolve roll, and I'm going to call on you in a minute to find out how it went with this diablerie. Jen Brown, Lucius is not responding. In a second, your shouting might have an effect on him. I know that you got 2 successes on it. So once we find out how many successes he gets here, we'll kind of know if you're getting through to him. But you can pick another action now if you'd like.
This is sorry. I just wanted to ask. This is difficulty at 3, right?
That's correct.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
I think Jen was worried about Deb and then Curtis and didn't really register Kit fully or what was happening. And now I think she sees creepy crawlies coming for them. And this car is there. And I think, I'm sorry, Abu, I think she's gonna just try to save herself and Curtis at this point. I feel like you're a nice guy, but you keep biting people. And I feel like Jen's concern is with Curtis and making sure Curtis doesn't die. So I feel like she's gonna grab Curtis's arm and just be like, "We gotta move."
So now is
kind of dragging him away, kind of.
So now I would like to just take a quick moment to let you know exactly what your environment is, so you know all the options available to you. And because we're in theater of the mind, sometimes it can get a little murky. So I'm going to let you know. Back toward the gate. We're going to call that behind you. That's where Lucius is sort of eating Deb. It's where Kit is standing with our friend's gun on him. And then back behind there's the gate with the headlights shining in. And there's also an office complex with a door that you could get into it if you wanted to. It's a cinder block building. It's not that large, and it's kind of attached to the chain link fence. Behind you, that's behind you. As you turn, to where you would escape, you see that there right now are at least 3. I'm going to just call them whites, WIGHT, whites for our notation. They are kind of moving toward you guys in a hungry, sort of rapacious manner, howling and growling. And they are coming toward you along one of the rows. I described these mounds. There's basically 2 rows of big mounds where they've buried industrial waste. The whole place goes back another 50 yards, and there are big mounds on either side, and those creatures are coming at you through the row between them.
So the way back through the hole in the gate that we came through initially is now blocked by...
It's now got zombie whites in front of it.
It's got zombies. Is there any clear path that doesn't have zombies? Or is it just zombies all around?
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could try to move around and come around one of the mounds on the far side of them if you wanted to run that way.
I guess I think I'm probably just going to try the path of least resistance where there aren't baddies in the way and try to scatter.
Great. So you're kind of sticking against the fence. You're going to try to kind of run back to the way you came in, the hole in the back of the fence that way. So why don't you give me, I think that's a straight up Dex plus athletics, and don't tell me how you did yet, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want to really make some progress and get all the way over to the fence and start on your way back there, you need 2 successes. Curtis Krieger, what are you going to do?
If Jen is bouncing and skirting the fence, then it's one of these taking up the gun and just covering that escape and trying to just get her out of there safely.
Okay, great. So you're moving with her. Give me a Dex plus athletics roll. And let me ask you, are you giving up your bead on Kit, or are you keeping it?
I have to give it up in order to follow, so she's no longer covered.
Okay, great. Then you only need 2 successes to join Jen, kind of up against the fence back behind these mounds, taking a different route than these creatures are taking toward you. And now we come to Kit Willoughby. Kit, you can kind of see what Lucius is doing. You can see that Jen and Curtis are about to cheese it. What do you want to do?
As they're getting ready, I say, wait, I need your help. I'm like you. Please, don't leave me.
Great. I'm going to rule that if they fail their roll and you can get 3 successes on a manipulation plus persuasion roll, you're going to make them pause for a second. But they have to also fail their roll. So they have to get less than 2 successes on their run, and then you need 3 successes on your manipulation plus persuasion roll. And now, Sister Mary Ursula, so many targets, so little time. What would you like to do?
You know, I will say that in this situation, Sister Mary Ursula really loves having control over somebody, so she would want Kit to make it just so she could continue to terrify her. Do I see these whites?
You do.
Coming by. That to me is the most terrifying thing in this entire situation I've seen thus far. So I would like to unleash some Dragon's Breath rounds on them.
Okay, so your action will resolve first, and because you are opening fire, and you did say that you were armed, and then we'll resolve the others. And finally, Gilles, what are you going to do this round?
Let's see. I think realistically, to adhere to the character of Gilles, I am at present punching the wheel of the Toyota Yaris, screaming like, "This is intolerable!" Just scream of furious French. Ah, mon Dieu! Je suis Gilles du Manoir! Whatever disgrace is in French.
Fighting with bureaucracy.
It's too bad mortals can't make a frenzy roll, or we would have you make a frenzy roll. I think that.
But I'm going to say this, just so I'm not just perpetually sitting in the front seat of a Toyota Yaris close by to. It was a Yaris, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Just so that I don't spend this entire 2-hour session on furious hold with Amos, as I think of increasingly elaborate ways to punish him when I get back to the camp. I will. Gilles will exit the car and prime his stake launcher and start moving in the direction of the gate.
Stake launcher.
Stake launcher.
Yes. Oh, you are not familiar with the stake launcher? Oh, this is an elegant weapon.
Relax. It's from Western Sizzler.
It's like a T-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shoot the stake.
Okay, so great. You will prime your stake launcher. You are still on hold. You're still hearing hold music. I'm gonna leave you on hold this entire round. And now let's resolve some rolls. Go ahead, Sister Mary Ursula, and make your dexterity plus firearms roll.
Dexterity plus firearms. Ooh. Okay. For we know the Lord said, "Vengeance is mine, and I will repay." Oh my God! They're all successes.
Oh, great!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay, so and these are Dragon Breath rounds, and these are vampires that have been awakened by the spilling, the spilled vitae on this this unholy ground here, and so I think that they're reaching out to the blood that they smell and they feel and they hunger for. But Sister Mary Ursula, true to her shotgun nun character build, blows the first one that's coming toward you into Kingdom Come. It literally goes up in smoke, flame, and ash under the onslaught of her shotgun. Do you know how many shots you have in that thing, Sister Mary Ursula?
I don't.
We're gonna find out, because unlike last time, it's gonna be important, right?
I have 6 rounds.
There we go. That's
Dragon's Breath rounds.
That's round 1, Sister Mary Ursula. Boy, I hope there are enough. And now we are going to come to our friend Lucius Ali. And Lucius, you actually should have gotten 2 extra dice once you surged like that. So let me know how you did, and then if we need to roll that extra die, we will. How did you do?
I got a messy critical. So
Oh my god!
How did that happen again? That
Dude,
happened
I
again.
literally, as soon as you told me, I rolled it, and I was like, I can't believe this.
I was gonna ask how my 2 success yell at you was gonna do, and I fucking know the answer. Absolutely.
I was like, Christmas came early, but it's freaking.
So, well, okay. So the messy critical means that you are going to begin feeding. You're going to lose another point of humanity.
Oh, beautiful.
You are going to. You're going to. You're going to roll now your modified humanity +2. Versus Deb's psyche. Wow, what if Deb takes you over? So you are now rolling 6 dice, Lucius Ellie, and let's go ahead and resolve this now. I think this is all happening now.
I think it's pressing, isn't it? It's a pressing concern.
Okay, I got 4.
Has to be a
Okay, you won, but here's what I'm going to do. So I think you are a pure creature of instinct now. So I'm not going to veto any move that Lucius makes in this action scene, as long as he's like a monster. You know what I mean? As long as he's like an animal and how he reacts to things.
A ravening beast.
Yeah, a ravening beast. And I'm going to say that Lucius Ali, let's see, how many successes was that just now? What was it? 4, and then you got a messy critical before. How much XP is that? How many successes were on that messy critical roll? Do you remember?
6.
Holy shit crap. Okay. Great. You do you want to go ahead and go up in blood potency?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay. Lucius Ali is now at blood potency 3. And he has fed on 2 vampires in one night. And he's done it successfly.
He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it all
He's
works.
not locked in with them. They're locked in with him.
That's right. 6 times 5 is 30, so you only need 15. So you still have 15 XP hanging out there to improve your blood potency later and get it up to 4. But that is what has happened to Lucius Ali, who is just busy feeding and enjoying himself, just having a night. And now I'm going to resolve Jen Brown. Jen Brown, remember, if you are unhappy with the roll you just made to run, remember that you can blood surge if you'd like. They're allowing Thin Bloods to blood surge now, according to the new rules.
Well,
how did you like your roll?
I got 2 successes, which I think is what I needed, right?
Yeah, but why don't you go? I mean, do you want to get potentially hungry, or you do not have to, obviously, but you could try it if you'd like.
Honestly, I roll so shit that I kind of would prefer to keep my hunger low.
I think that makes total sense. And Curtis Krieger, of course, the option is available to you, and I should remind you guys of that sometimes. Are you happy with how your running away roll went?
Yeah. Do you want to know it?
Yeah.
It was 6 successes, a critical.
Oh, holy shit!
So I think maybe this Dragon's Breath round ignites this white, and Curtis is just suddenly like training takes over and is like, go, and they're just like along the fence, covered back to the gate, going around.
Right.
And,
so to be clear, the main kind of thoroughfare between these like kind of dumping grounds, where these kind of mounds are, that's where the whites were coming from. Jen Brown and Curtis Krieger have now come up and around like the side up along the fence. They're moving to the back of the lot toward where the hole in the fence is. And Curtis, I think you should do something with your critical. I mean, I think that you should get a free shot at somebody, or you should, or in following you should be tough, or you should be hyper aware of what's coming ahead of you if you'd like. Like what would be best for Curtis?
I feel like, it's the following. We're trying to evade. So I would just like to slip through this fence and disappear.
Okay, great. So you are going to, so I'm going to rule that you, not only do you like get away, you get away quickly while other stuff's going on and people don't really realize you're gone. And your critical allows that to apply to both you and Jen Brown. Okay.
Is there a way for us? I mean, this is cheating a little bit, but to get out of view, but still be able to, like, they don't know where we went, but we aren't completely leaving Lucius in the dust?
Haha. Maybe not. Look, here's what you could do. You could, if you can make it back to that hole in the fence where you came in, that sort of wooded hillside allows you to get kind of a bird's eye view of the whole site, and you'd be able to watch what's going on from there. Is that something?
Yeah. And Brad and Clara, are they? Where are they?
Clara is waiting back with your car. I think that's where Lucius sent her, and
that's where Brad is as well.
Yeah, maybe they're actually at that hole in the back. Maybe they're back at that fence, but that's where they're at.
How strong is Brad's car?
It's what do we say? We said it was like a Tahoe.
Is that particularly sturdy? Is that like a bust through a gate?
It's
no Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
It's an SUV.
Mm-hmm. It's an SUV. It's not nothing.
Utility vehicle.
Well, I'm not going to make this choice for me and Curtis, but I wanted to get us out of danger, but I don't know. What do you think, Kurt? Should we hang watch and see what's going on and not completely leave Lucius?
You don't have to decide yet.
Okay.
I want you guys to think about it. You can also use the chat to the private chat to talk to each other about it. But you guys right now, you've kind of made it away for all intents and purposes. You still have to cross the entire lot, but you kind of like jumped out of the fray while a lot of gunshots were going off. And now we are going to ask Kit Willoughby, so they both succeeded. So your attempt to manipulate them doesn't work. And
you're in the room with me right now. Just saying.
Oh God, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're kind of right near the guy that's just feeding on one vampire after another, and with all of the whites that are kind of coming at everybody. So that's not great.
I can respect that.
They did hear you maybe, but I don't think that it really registered. They had their plan in mind. So I'm going to say that your thing resolved, and then as we saw Sister Mary Ursula's thing resolved, and as we saw our friend Jill.
Make a note just to Lucius that I don't look like a vampire. Just want to put it out there.
Oh, that's true. That's a very good point, actually. That's an excellent point. Okay, so there's a half hour left in our nut-ass adventure, and here's what's going to happen. The next couple actions are going to be so super important because with 6 people, a round takes 10 minutes, so choose your actions carefully, and I promise we'll tie this in a nice, neat little Christmas bow for everybody. Just want to remind everybody that they can donate to that COVID relief, and go to the website if you aren't watching this on if you're not watching this on twitch.tv/worldofdarkness, you can also go to the website, which we're going to throw up in the chat. And now I'm going to start the next round. No, I'm going to let these guys act. I said I was going to. One of them got blown away, but the other 2 did not. And I got to tell you, Kit, I'm not playing favorites. You are probably the closest, most front and center person. But Lucius is also creating an enormous mess. So I'm going to have 1 attack Lucius and 1 attack you.
Okay.
Let's see here. They are going to make bite attacks. And let's see. Okay. So, all right, here comes the one against our poor friend Kit. And we take away 2 because it's a bite attack.
Do I need to roll anything against it or no?
I think that you I'm gonna allow you a dodge, like a dexterity plus brawl to get out of the way if you'd like. You've already taken an action this round, but it was just talking, so I don't see why you couldn't do that. How'd you do?
I got one.
Okay, so this bad boy got 3. So suddenly this like burnt vampire corpse lands on top of you, Kit, and like gets his bite into your neck. And if you think Lucius is bad, wait till you meet these guys. So it's like a burnt shell of a vampire. You can now see it up close, and like the flayed burnt skin is peeling off and revealing a white skull beneath, but yet the thing is still moving, running, and howling. It's making a hollow kind of guttural like chortling in its throat. And now one comes at Lucius Ali. Lucius, here we go, buddy. Lucius, I'm going to rule that you actually can't dodge because you're kind of really involved with something right now. Unless do you feel like he would snap out of it? Would you like to snap? Do you think he's going to snap out of it? I told you you could make an instinctual movement. So I
feel like he'd see it coming because he's in that space, and I think he's just gonna like whatever's coming at him that he feels there's no sense of like anything. Even if it was like a fly, he'd try and gut it.
Okay. Then you make an attack, then, my friend. Make an attack. So make a strength plus brawl attack. You are still blood surged, so you get 2 extra dice for that. And let's see if you can meet this guy's attack with that.
4 successes.
4 successes. You beat his attack, and you do 2 damage to him. It's not aggravated, but you basically, like when he leaps on top of you, you smash into him, and you're kind of like pulling him apart because he is a corpse. And so now we are going to go back to the top of the order. Things are getting really scary. And I want to ask everybody what they're doing. Sister Mary Ursula, you're the one throwing a gun around, so I'll probably ask you first. What are you going to do?
Well, I am dreaming of a white Christmas, and on a nation such as this, shall I not avenge myself? Next, probably to the one going towards Josephine.
Makes sense. Great. So you get your Dex plus firearms ready for that.
Isn't it
now
like on me?
It is. So this could be a tough roll.
Okay.
But don't you understand? Kit is an expendable member of God's army.
Yeah, I know. That's how I live.
I want her alive though, just because I really like watching her squirm.
Yeah, be careful of that explosive collar. Okay, then I'm going to ask. Lucius Ali. You now have targets available. You're actually locked in a melee with the guy that you're fighting with. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna try and finish this thing. Just get them out of the way. And while also, like, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to, because I think I'm coming back to who the fuck I am and trying to, get my senses back again and see where I'm at the moment, because I've just butchered 2 people.
I think that Lucius can choose. He has to, I love the idea of getting himself back to, his senses back, but that would require him to kind of make a willpower roll and try to like unfrenzy himself after this, this diablerie. He can do that, or he can fight this thing.
In fact, I think what I'm going to do, so I can either fight this person here, or I can get out of whatever the hell I am in, right?
Right. Now that means this guy might be like batting you around or like biting into you while you're kind of like realizing who you are and where you are. Yeah. But it's a risk you're willing to take because
I think I'm going to take him out. I think I'm going to
right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense to me too. That makes total sense to me. So now I'm going to ask Curtis Krieger and Jen Brown in the party that's kind of exiting. What do you want to do?
All right. I think I will maybe pop back through the fence just for a second to see if we can cut through and get him the hell out. And first of all, scream to him. Hey, Doc, Clara's waiting. And,
So if you are a new viewer, Clara is Lucius's touchstone, his sister, who he did bring to America with him, and who is on this mission, but she's kind of off in the wings, kind of waiting back at their kind of exit point. And so here's what I want to say. That's great. Actually, that's great. I think that you need to. So you weren't all the way to the exit yet, Curtis. You kind of have to turn back and go back and yell, right? Good. And so give me a charisma or composure. You could choose either, plus insight roll. And
if doesn't give me much. Could I bargain it to leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get 2 successes, he hears you, and that's going to affect rolls that he makes. Jen Brown, anything that you would like to do, or do you want to keep running for that exit, or when you see Curtis is going back to help him?
Do I still have animalism from that sweet rat that I ate?
Yes, you do.
I want to try to call a little buddy for Lucius to help him, if I could.
You want to try a Feral Whispers roll right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. You actually, you know what? You still had kind of a buddy. Remember, you had that.
Oh yeah, my little raven dude.
Raven that was kind of like circling the lot last session. And so if you would like to, I'm gonna say, don't bother making another roll for it, because we established it had kind of scouted this for you a little bit. Would you like to send it to do something right now?
I wanted to dive bomb Sister Mary Ursula, because I feel like he's got this guy under control. So I want the lady with the shotgun to be a little bit perturbed.
Sister Mary Ursula. Okay, so I want you to still roll your kind of Feral Whispers to control it, to tell it to do that. And that is going to be, I think it's a animalism plus charisma. Am I wrong about that? Where did my disciplines go suddenly? Oh, here it is.
That's right.
I was right. Charisma plus animalism. And now
that would just be thin blood alchemy for me, right?
That's correct, because you don't have, it's a temporary dot that you have. So yes, that's correct. And so now let's roll. I want to roll for that before Sister Mary Ursula fires. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm doing a quick little re-roll. It didn't matter. 2 successes.
Okay, so here comes the Raven. And Sister Mary Ursula, how did your roll go?
For the shots?
Yes.
For the shot?
Yes.
5 successes.
Okay, so you I'm sorry, you I'll actually only get 3 successes, because a bird starts bothering you while you're firing at this thing. But they are Dragon's Breath rounds. The thing was dealing with Kit, not with you. I didn't see you back there. So I think you blast it still successfully with just those 3 successes. You just have this bird kind of like harrowing you right now. And let's see. How does the shot affect our friend Kit Willoughby? Because she's right there. Well, I would say if Sister had only gotten 1 or 2 successes, I'd say there might be some fallout. It is a Dragon's Breath shotgun. That's the problem.
That is a problem.
Kit,
a lot of flames.
Kit, give me a stamina plus survival roll. And you need let's see, she got 3 successes. You need 3 successes, or you are going to have a reaction to this fire.
Thank goodness, because I got 3 successes, and had that not worked, it would have been bestial. So,
okay, great. So the thing in front of you blows up in like a gout of flame, and you're thin blood, so you don't frenzy as easy, maybe, and that's what like stops you from like suddenly like just going feral. But for a moment, like the fear of unlife comes through you because of the fire. Okay, and so now, Curtis Krieger, how did you do on your leadership roll?
A respectable 2 successes.
That is enough for him to hear. That's what I said. He only needed 2 to hear it. Right. And so, Lucius Ali, you hear this. Clara's waiting, but how did you do on your attack roll?
I got 4.
Okay. You win that exchange. He's taking some more superficial damage. But the issue is that you're only doing superficial damage because you're just kind of batting him around.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any blood to heal it. So what I'm going to rule is that of all the whites, this one's down on the ground and it's kind of having trouble getting up again. Like Lucius is like bent it the wrong way or something. Sister Mary Ursula has blown away 2 of them. And so now at the beginning of this round, you have new options available to you, Lucius. You could do something else. Your combatant is out of the way. But you still have Kit Willoughby there and Sister Mary Ursula blowing things away with a shotgun. Or perhaps our friend Curtis screaming about Clara has had an effect on you. I want you to think about that. But there's someone I forgot. Sean Amos comes back on the line and goes, "Okay, I'm sorry, investigator. Everything's lighting up on the switchboard tonight. What can I do for you?"
I would like to, that I think we spoke last time that I was here on your program, that I'm in possession of a silver-topped cane, like a walking stick of sorts. And as I approach the gap in the fence where I can see into this chemical disposal, how do you say, yard site? Yes.
Site.
I twist the top of my cane and pull it out, and I click a little button on the side, and there's now a laser that is painting the site of the yard out of my thing. And into the radio, I say authorization code 1739747-4 Kilo November. Request immediate airstrike, danger close on this location.
You're a dirty dog.
Okay, let's find out what happened. You hear Sean Amos on the other end of the line go, after you finish your code and you can hear him tapping it in, you hear him go, "Holy shit." And now I want this might be our last round or second to last round. I want the Inquisitors to know that they know that this is happening because Gilles is in your earbuds. Okay.
Un moment, s'il vous plaît, Monsieur Logan. I believe I had switched my radio channel from 1, which is shared with my fellow Inquisitors, to 5, which is the band back.
This guy.
The central investigative.
You're right, and the teacher forgot to give you homework, didn't it?
Yeah, it is only right that we play fair, huh?
So, Sister Mary Ursula, if you are using your shotgun again, you will go first, and then we'll resolve everybody else. But I just want to, before we start declaring actions, one more time say where everything stands. As you just heard Gilles explain, the Inquisitors don't know he's just called in an airstrike. Lucius, I want you. Go ahead.
No, I just said we sure don't.
Lucius, I want you to know that thinking about your sister, who is your touchstone, that thought has now gotten through to you crystal clear, right? It's like it's sharp, it's cold, it's almost insectile. You know that you love her, but you cannot quite feel your love for her because you have lost to humanity tonight. So, but I want to set the scene up that way before you declare your last action to let me know what you do. And now, and boy, that is the effect of Curtis's 2 successes on his leadership role, and it's a big one, isn't it? It's a huge one. Mm-hmm. So even a 2 success roll can matter. Let's start declaring actions. And by the way, Sister Mary Ursula, this bird is still harrowing you, and it's going to keep rolling to take successes off of your shots until you shoot it. Okay. And so now here we go. I'm going to start, I think, with Sister because she might be shooting a gun. What are you going to do?
Well, there's one more white left, so I'm just going to try to swat that bird away and take that last shot. He's on the ground, but he's still moving. And probably what he's trying to do is rouse to heal a little bit of the superficial damage so he can keep going.
I can't have that.
No, of course not. Okay, so you're going to move over there and blow him away. Great, understood. And so now, Lucius, what are you going to do?
I can see Kit, right?
You can.
So I'm gonna. Don't worry, guys. No, it's not gonna happen. I am gonna. No, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see Kit, and I'm kind of gonna look at her and be like, this isn't Terminator. Come with me if you want to live, and then try and basically go to the direction of where Curtis and Jen are.
Great.
Okay. That's great. I want to ask you: is more of your effort in? Are you just saying that to her and running, or are you really trying to get her to come?
I'm actually really gonna try and get her to come because I think that it's because you look human, right? So I'm obviously kind of actually that's the thing, right? Will I notice the chain around her neck?
No, it's pretty subtle. We established,
Okay.
and she says she pulls her collar up so people can't see it.
A bit tough at this point. It might be a little more.
Yeah, I think it's because of Clara as well. But then there's that feeling of like I think that emotion or something just pulls me to trying to get Kit to come with us. I think that's really interesting, and I think that you are absolutely allowed to do that. Should we hand it with straight RP, or should we make you? Rolling is fun. I guess I'm gonna let you roll. Why don't you roll your I think composure plus your resolve. Roll your resolve plus persuasion, Lucius Ali. And Jen Brown, you know that your discipline trick worked. So now what would you like to do?
I think I'm just going to hope that he makes it out. I'm just going to keep booking it up the hill to get out of there, I think.
Okay, great. And Curtis Krieger, what are you going to do?
Same, but if I see, but I also want to see if Lucius begins to come towards us. If he doesn't, then it's time to get out.
Okay.
But if he is, then I will try to cover his retreat.
Okay. Okay, Kit Willoughby, what do you want to do?
Could I sneak in or unless on the last round I didn't do anything, I don't think, unless just being in the midst of reacting to shots was that.
Oh shit! I'm sorry if you didn't. You certainly can sneak an action in here, and then we can pick what you're doing this next round. So what would you like to do?
Are there any other whites around?
There's just the one on the ground that it looks like Sister Mary's about to mop up right now. Do you want to kind of scan to see if any others are coming out of the ground?
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You scan around and you see that more are kind of crawling out of the ground. And let's see how many. At least 3 more that you can see.
Okay. Could I theoretically use far reach to fling one of them at Sister Mary?
You theoretically could and really should.
Ooh.
Oh, great.
So
that would be the first, and then the second one I would just try to book it and follow Lucius.
Okay, so because I deprived you of an action, why don't we go ahead and quickly roll that far reach roll?
Okay.
And oh my god, this is so nuts. Okay.
Can I arouse my blood for that? Since
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sister Mary's having a rough day.
I know that, so I'm hungrier.
Yeah, all right. You got a little hungrier. And what is the roll for
I believe it's thin blood alchemy plus resolve.
That's correct. Okay, go for it. Now, in order to yank this thing out of the dirt and smash it into Sister Mary, I need you to give me 3 successes.
Okay. Oh, I got 3.
Holy shit. Okay, so now so that happened last round. Kit Willoughby, you see like a little finger poking out of one of the other mounds, and you just go, ah! And you full Akira, rip it forward, and it's now floating towards Sister Mary Ursula, and now everything goes off. Sister Mary, you move up to the white that's on the ground, and I'm not going to make you roll because it's kind of laying there on the ground. You recognize it, though. It is that strange kind of spidery sort of nos that you met at the last place you were at. So this is literally vamps you just killed coming back again. You blast it with a round from your dragon's breath, but Sister Mary, I now need you to give me a stamina plus let's make it stamina plus dexterity, because something is about to smash you in the back really hard, and I want to see if you stay standing or ready for it if you take the wallop. Uh-oh.
6 successes.
Whoa! You like
Okay.
Had a critical hit.
It sounds like the vampire that was just thrown against you is in poorer shape than you are. It hits the wall that is Sister Mary Ursula, and it's kind of clawing at her, but it means that Sister Mary is going to have an easier time handling the threat next round. Okay, so that was Sister Mary's action, and now we know that Curtis and Jen are just running for it. Lucius, we know what you said. Lucius, give me how did your roll go?
It was 5 successes.
Wow.
Okay, so that's going to give you a big bonus to your escaping roll, Kit, that I want you to make now. If you want to give me a dexterity plus athletics just to haul ass and try to get out of range of whatever that little thing is. Who knows what the range is? If you want to give me
a bonus or no?
Yeah, I want you to add 2 dice for Lucius's appeal, and both of you are running for the exit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's 5 successes.
Okay. Lucius and Kit Willoughby are running for the exit. I think we're almost ready to kind of close our adventure for today, but I still want to find out. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I have if I may, I believe that my airstrike was in the last round. I still have a move this round.
What do you want to do this round?
One other thing I would like to do. I just very quickly click the dial on the radio to channel 1, and say, Sister Mary Ursula, I have invoked Gomorrah Protocol. Exit the area with all haste.
Oh shit! Do I hear that?
Oh shit! We got.
Yeah, you do, because no one's taking your
ear. You're on the level 1, huh? You're on channel 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, new round. Sister Mary, what do you want to do?
I, without looking at anybody, just book it.
Okay, great. And are you booking it back to the Yaris?
Yeah, but wait, isn't that there's a white like right in front of me though right now, right?
Right,
like,
and
right
I was going to have it attack you to try to like drag you back, like.
I have to take him out. I have to take him out.
Okay, so instead, are you making a firearms roll against him?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that is what you're going to do. And now everybody that's running away, I'm gonna kind of like, you guys all made great rolls. You're like really booking it out of there, but I want to know, do any of you have anything else that you want to do? Because I think that right about the end of this round, Kit and Lucius are kind of getting back to the back of the fence, joining Curtis and Jen. Do you guys have anything you'd like to do?
I'd like to just go over comms and say, I'm exiting the area in pursuit of targets.
I would like to ex-military Curtis, as he's like covering the retreat of Lucius and Kit. I would like to roll to see if I notice someone on military style comms.
Yeah. Okay. You mean like?
Do I see her talking to herself?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna let you roll for it, but I'm gonna let you have +2 dice. That's too cool, and it makes sense, and you might hear her. So go ahead and give me a wits plus awareness roll, and if you and then add 2 dice to it.
All right. Okay, Father.
Can he tell him like my tone or?
I think it's unless there's something you want to tweak in it, Joe. It's kind of exactly how you just role played it, right?
Okay.
Okay, 5 successes.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
so you heard her and you know what she just said, word for word. And so okay, so everybody that's exiting, Curtis wanted to do that. That's done. Everybody was exiting. Gilles, you've told everybody that Gamora protocol has been activated. I assume you are leaving forthwith, or are you helping Sister Mary with her white problem?
Well, unfortunately, I need to stay close enough to direct the targeting laser onto the target, so I cannot get too far away.
Great. And Gilles, I would like for you to explain Gamora protocol. What kind of vehicle arrives and what does it do? Remind me again.
So, of course, naturally, you recall that 2 F-22 Raptors are on station in high altitude above Pittsburgh at all times throughout this process, and on receiving the message relayed by Monsieur Amos from me, they drop down to a very low altitude, some 3,000-4,000 feet, and from a distance of 1 or 2 miles. I cannot remember exactly how far it is. Their computers will communicate with the targeting lasers that is in my possession, and it will guide a cluster of 6 Hellfire missiles directly onto the area.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I just was making sure that that's what it meant. Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Could I say that I don't know how far we are from the car. Are we far enough that I could be like, let's fucking go? Like,
yeah.
I'm glad to get the car going, and like we're gonna just jump in.
You actually really need to do that. So
okay, great.
I imagine the distant thrum of the F-22 Raptors would cause some concern, no?
I think we've told an incredible story tonight. I want to hear Sister Mary Ursula's role to get rid of this thing on her back, because that's going to be really important to our ending tonight.
All right. Surely there is a reward for the righteous, and surely there is a God who judges on earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay. Boom. It shatters into fire and flame. I think you have like 1 round left. So this went pretty well. There's more of them crawling up out of the earth. But I'm going to take us out of action scene, out of combat. I'm going to end the round to round. So if anybody needs to pipe in and go, wait, I would do this or I do this, you can do that now. We don't have to go in order. You are escaping now, sister?
Booking it for that Yaris, that sweet, sweet Yaris.
And the others are running back to the car. So you've got to move over this wooded slope to get away from the industrial waste site. You've got to kind of come back around to like the long way to the street where you parked the car, where Clara and where Brad are waiting. Brad has the car idling. And so as you run through the woods, I want to know, is there a final confrontation happening here between Curtis and Kit?
I mean, I think it might go like if it's take up position by the gate. It's like come on. Everybody goes through. Yeah, I mean, and then just swing around and just say to them like, just follow him back up to the car. And then as soon as she turns around, I shoot her in the back of the knee.
I would say, please, you got to help me. They have me on a leash. And I sort of show the collar.
Let's just play the scene. I'm not going to make you, if you accept that action, Joe, I'm not going to make him roll to hit you. He's blasted you in the back of the leg. And so I want you guys to just play the scene.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell him again what's going on.
You gotta help me. They're gonna blow this place to smithereens, and they've got me on a leash. Please, you can't leave me behind.
The no soldier left behind gets to him for a second, but where's your give me that comms, and
I throw it over.
And I got it. And if I listen, do I hear anything?
You hear no, he's on channel 1, so you don't hear anything.
I think it's still set to channel 1. So possibly what you do here is Gilles contacting Sister Mary Ursula, being like, "It sounds as though the beast has turned its coat. Perhaps it's time to push the button."
You know, I think you might be right there.
Oh God, Curtis,
And
run.
I will slowly sort of crawl towards Curtis.
Stop.
Please, gotta help me.
I don't hear praying.
And I get out maybe like, how many of us did you? And then
so the detonator isn't like a giant explosion that'll take you with it, Curtis. It's actually much sadder, scarier, and more horrible than that. I want to say, what a fantastic play from our friend Kit Willoughby. What a truly troubled soul she was. And as a vampire, who knows if she's really gone? But for right now, a small detonating device goes off in her neck. Blood spatters out. Her eyes roll back in her head, and she falls inert at your feet, just as you hear in the sky above you the sound of shrieking dragons, like just this like enormous, like a careening kind of sound of the very heavens opening up above you, Curtis Krieger.
I keep the calm and just run, fling myself to the ground, get cover as best I can, and just am shrieking like, "Get down!"
Okay, let's have everybody that's on that wooded hillside make a dexterity plus survival roll.
Oh my God.
Survival. Ooh, what if you don't have any?
You're just gonna roll your dexterity then.
Fuck. Okay.
I think that's untrained, but I'm not gonna make. I just want you to roll your dexterity.
Do I get any bonuses in regards to what the hell I've just done?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm gonna say that you're still blood surged, my friend. So go ahead and give yourself 2 extra die on that roll.
Okay. All right. What do we say them
I want to know everybody's answer. How did it go?
4 successes.
4 successes for Curtis.
1.
1 for Jen Brown.
3.
3 for okay. And we know that Kit Willoughby has for now left this mortal coil. Boom, 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 boom. The forest catches fire, but I am going to simply give our poor friend Jen Brown this many damage for her 1 success. Oh, that's nice. 2 aggravated damage, Jen Brown. And I'm going to say that you make it back to the car, and Lucius, you are covered in blood, and Clara's like, Luce, what did you do?
And I'm just gonna look at her, and then just look at the front of the car, and just sort of like be in my own daze.
Curtis Krieger, you hear chatter again on the comm. Is there any final thing you'd like to say to your friends in the Inquisition?
Mm-hmm. What am I hearing?
You're hearing a target has been hit. Well, maybe it's still on just their channel. So it maybe nothing. Gilles, you tell me. Sister Mary, are you talking on it at all?
On the comms, no. I'd say, are me and Gilles both back at the car?
Yes, absolutely. You got out of the way of this strike, of course, being the ones that dropped it. So yes.
So I don't think we would have been like saying anything at the time being, like, because we were all just getting in. But do we hear Curtis say anything?
Yeah, it's quiet. What do you want to say, Curtis, if anything?
The theatrical, the ham is like, yeah, I'd love to say something, but I feel like tactician Curtis is like, great, let him think we're dead. But the vicious part of him is just like takes it out of his ear and just holds it like right up to the radio speaker of the car and just like hits play and like cranks it.
Oh my God.
Oh my
God.
Curtis, what song is playing?
Loco by because Curtis and Brad have set this channel. It's Loco by Coal Chamber.
And Brad Lockwood, your tool goes, hell yeah, man.
Sorry, I take the earpiece out my ear, throw it in the back seat, and I say to Jill, I'm ordering some Postmates. Do you want in on this order?
Yes, bien sûr, mais no sushi, s'il vous plaît, because I always feel it does not travel as well as having it.
And that is where we will end it for tonight.
And then Dylan gets an alert.
Yeah. Wow. So, what an incredible session, guys. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. You were all fantastic. I didn't know what was going to happen at some points, but can we just have a moment of silence for Kit Willoughby?
Oh,
what a great character. Kit, I'm sorry, but you knew the deal going in. Look, hopefully Joe McAdam will hopefully maybe Kit will survive, or maybe Joe, you'll come back and play with us in some other way with some other character.
Anytime.
Great. Guys, this has been Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown, the Vamily Holiday Special. I am going to thank my players, Mr. Humphrey Carr, Josephine McAdam, Nora Ibrahim, Abu Salim, Ashley Birch, and Curtis Krieger. Thank you, guys. You were amazing. That was insane. Thank you. I'm making the face from the poster.
You sure are.
If you would like to see more of our Inquisitors or more another crossover, let us know. Get onto our Discord or shoot these guys messages. Follow them on all of their socials and let them know how much you enjoyed this and that you'd like to see them in the game again. For now,
I want to see more. I can say that right now.
Yeah, we need some one-on-ones here. I want Jen to really have a nice long talk with Sister Mary Ursula.
Yeah.
Really want to see the interaction. That and then to have 2 diableries in one night is really just it's a red letter day for me. Thank you all, and we're gonna say goodbye for now. And we'll see you next week. We'll see you next time. That was our big special, our big crossover, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I was really happy with it. If you enjoy these players in our game today, come follow us on twitch.tv/Stream of Blood. That's when we do our regular Vampires of Pittsburgh game. Stream of Blood is a tabletop RPG network which gathers well-known actors, comedians, and streamers to play tabletop role-playing games. So we're kind of all writers or comedians or actors or all three. And I'm sure you, if you look at a lot of our games, you might recognize a name or two of someone whose work you enjoy. So please come check us out. Vampires of Pittsburgh is our regular Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, but we also showcase other games that are underrepresented systems, we think, in the world of online tabletop streaming. So we have a Blades in the Dark regular game where we play with a bunch of different groups. So we have like a couple different parties, but they all exist in the same setting. Blades in the Dark is, of course, the incredible Powered by the Apocalypse game by John Harper, if you're familiar with that one. We also do Call of Cthulhu, Mothership, Cyberpunk Red, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and many others. This Tuesday, for example, we are playing our new episode of Coven. That is our Call of Cthulhu 1920s game about a group of 3 lady supernatural investigators played by 3 of my very close friends. One is my wife, and they are hysterical comedians. The original title was Coven of Bitches, but Twitch wouldn't let us do that. That was their idea, not mine. So if you want to see a really kind of freaky / funny Call of Cthulhu game played by 3 pretty amateur role players, I would recommend you come check us out at 7 p.m. Pacific this Tuesday on the Stream of Blood. Last week, we introduced a new series of videos on YouTube that we're calling How to RPG. This first video was by our friend Ross Bryan, who you saw play Curtis Krieger tonight. He did one on how to make a great RPG character. He brings a lot of really cool decision-making into how he creates and RPs his characters. I really recommend that one. I am going to be posting, or we are going to be posting a video of me, how to create a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. So I tell you, like, kind of step by step how I would go about making a city for Vampire the Masquerade. That's going to drop this Tuesday, I think. And I am joined by a brain trust of our channel subscribers. We would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We give all kinds of perks like that. You are part of the show. Most recently, our Call of Cthulhu game that happens usually every Saturday, the Neptune Society. All of the subscribers were allowed to come in and vote as members of the Gentlemen's Club, the Neptune Society, and decide what their next missions would be. And we are currently playing through those missions. So we want to bring you in as part of our fictional fantasy world. Stream of Blood, oh my God, is there still more? Yes, and look how well I'm just kind of laying it all out for you. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. We have episodes up of Vampires of Pittsburgh and the game I just mentioned, the Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu game. You can find it on the podcatcher of your choice. Please subscribe and leave a review because it helps and it lets you catch up on the, 600 plus hours of content we've already put on the air. You can catch up to it in audio form. Spread the word about Stream of Blood. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our Discord. The server of Blood is up and running, and I'd love for you to come there to talk to me. We're also on Reddit at r/Stream of Blood. And that's it. I'm going to give a couple more credits. If anybody has a comment or a question, they can shoot it through. Let me get into these final credits. Our original music for Vampires of Pittsburgh is by Axel Kazis Taylor. Search that name, Axel Kazis, Kazis, Taylor, Taylor, and you'll find more of Axel's work. I want to thank my producers and partners, Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks. They are the secret Storyteller GMs who not only help to book it and get all the logistics of something special like this Vamily holiday stream so that we can participate in it, which was very important to me, and I'm so glad we were able to participate. But they also are kind of the people that help me GM. So, they're feeding me ideas the whole time, and it really helps. If you can ever play your home game with two people giving you cool ideas in your ear, I recommend it. Our social media manager is Megan Arch. The Stream of Blood logo was created by Garrett Ross, and our opening animation is by Better Than Heroes' own Andrew Orvidal. That's it. I guess there were no questions. That's okay. Come back and see us next week. Until next time, #GetPink. Bye-bye.